Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for checking me out. And it is the first Monday Night Raw of the decade. Matter of fact, it is the first Monday Night Raw of the new year, 2020. Strap your seats in, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready for a bumpy ride. So the show starts off with a commentary announcing a title match later on today between Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. Unfortunately, Rey Mysterio lost the United States title last week at a WWE house show. Now my question to you and to the company is, why is Rey Mysterio getting a title shot when Shane McMahon said on the December 17th, 2018 episode of Monday Night Raw that championship rematch clauses have been antiquated? Rey Mysterio just lost the U.S. title. Why is he getting another title match? He should be starting at the bottom of the barrel and earning wins to build up momentum to deserve a title match. That makes no sense. I guess that is not true anymore about the rematches being antiquated. Moving on, the announcers also mentioned that there will be a triple threat tag team title match between the champions, the Viking Raiders, versus the OC versus the Street Profits. Shortly after which, Paul Heyman starts making his way down to the ring alongside his advocate, the WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. So then Paul Heyman introduces himself, and then he says that they are looking for someone to challenge Brock Lesnar for his WWE title at the Royal Rumble. Heyman then mentions that there is no one on the entire WWE roster who is good enough to fight Brock Lesnar. Heyman then announces that Brock Lesnar shall be entering the Royal Rumble, and to make things even more interesting, Brock Lesnar will be entering at entry number 1 and will win it all. Heyman then added that it is not a prediction, but matter of fact, it is a spoiler that Brock Lesnar will win the 2020 Royal Rumble. After that, the camera cuts backstage to Rey Mysterio, who seems to be already talking, and the volume is low, which gets corrected shortly after. I don't know what's going on here. It seems like there must be a production issue, because shortly after they cut to the backstage, Rey Mysterio is already talking. I don't know if they gave him a cue already to start talking or not. I'm not too sure, but he's just talking. You can't really hear what he's saying, and then a couple seconds after, then you can start hearing what he's saying. It doesn't matter though, because even if you could hear what he's saying or not, Rey is speaking in Spanish. Now, I don't speak Spanish, so I will go back and play that scene for you right now. Here's the footage.
Thank you. ¿Por qué? Porque Andrade no es un latino digno que represente a todos los latinos como nosotros. Los latinos nos fregamos tanto para ganarnos el respeto de otros, para obtener respeto y para obtener el éxito.
Rey, how much does this United States Championship match mean to you tonight?
It means everything to me, but not just because I will become champion once again. Because at this point in my career, I only have days left, not years. And I want to take this time to thank my son, Dominic. I love you, son. Thank you for convincing me on staying and competing against the top of the top, the best of the best, like Andrade. But Andrade, he doesn't deserve to represent los Latinos. That's why tonight, I'm taking my United States Championship back.
All right, there you have it. So that happened. Anyways, so the match starts. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas for United States Championship. It was a good match, back and forth. As always, with these two gentlemen, they're actually really good luchador wrestlers, in both in their own right. Rey Mysterio ended up pinning Andrade, but during the pinfall, Zelina Vega managed to pull up Andrade's feet within the 2 count, going to the 3. After the referee's hand hit the mat for the 3 count, he was about to ring the bell, and the Zelina Vega brought to the referee's attention that Andrade's foot was on the rope, and the referee decided to restart the match. Now, this is all unfortunate because Rey Mysterio actually thought that he actually won the match. He was celebrating and stuff, but the referee said, nope, the match is restarting. The match restarts. These gentlemen go back and forth. Some interesting offense. There was one moment where Rey Mysterio tried to do a sun flip powerbomb sunset flip powerbomb, but Andrade reverses. Man, there were so many back and forth moments in this match. Was really good. This was honestly one of the greatest matches of the night, I've got to say. But in the end, Andrade ends up winning after such a great match with using the Hammerlock DDT for the win. After the match, Andrade decided to give Rey Mysterio a post-match beatdown, and he also ripped off Rey Mysterio's mask off of his face. This was very gruesome. This is actually one of the most disrespectful things that you can do in the Mexican tradition, ripping off a luchador's wrestling mask. Referee quickly jumped to the aid of Rey Mysterio and giving Rey Mysterio a white towel to cover his face. And that's pretty much the end of this segment here. So now, a backstage interview is then held with Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. I have here for you the audio clip.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guests, Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Gentlemen, earlier tonight, Seth Rollins revealed his game plan, and that is to divide and conquer, because in his words, he says both of you are individualists. Now, do you believe...
Charlie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but let's get this out of the way. Seth's right. Everything he said about Joe and I is true. You know, I've proven multiple times that, I don't play well with others, and I don't think Joe tries to play with anybody ever. But the circumstances have brought us together, and the fact is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You see, against a force like the AOP and Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe needs me to watch his back as much as I need him to do the same for me. And that's what we're going to do tonight.
You know, it's no secret, Charlie, I am a prideful man. But even now I recognize when a little backup is needed, which brings me to a proposition that I want you to pose to Seth Rollins and the AOP tonight. And it's a very simple one. Seth Rollins and the AOP, the three of them versus the three of us.
I assume you don't mean the three of us.
No. Hey, listen, I got a guy. It's all right. I've been making moves. I got a guy.
Well, who's the guy?
Listen, trust me. Let's let Seth and the AOP worry about it. And they should be worried. Got this.
Wow, what an intense promo. I wonder who the tag team partner is. Up next is a WWE Tag Team Triple Threat title match. The WWE Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders versus the OC and the Street Profits. The Viking Raiders retain their titles, though, after a power bomb and a top rope body splash. Backstage now. Backstage interviewer Charlie Caruso stops Joe and asks Joe, who is Joe's partner for tonight's 6-man tag team match? Joe decides not to disclose the information to Charlie. Kevin then enters and then asks Joe who the partner is as well. Joe agrees to instead telling Kevin who the partner is. Joe said, I will show you who the partner is. So then the show then cuts to commercial and returns with Becky Lynch in the ring. Becky then talks about fighting Asuka at the Royal Rumble and how she was not able to beat her last year at the Royal Rumble, and that is a tick on her record, and she is stating that Asuka is the one person who she has not been able to defeat. And she is also mentioning that management backstage do want to protect Becky Lynch. And Becky does not want to be in handcuffs. Becky wants to challenge Asuka for Becky's WWE Raw Women's Championship. During Becky's promo, her talking, Asuka decides to come out. Now Asuka's come out and she's showboating, dancing, and parading about. Asuka then enters the ring and Becky clocks Asuka in the mouth and then walks to the back. Now we are backstage and Eric Rowan is walking backstage and Mojo Riley stops him and asks if he can see what is in the cage. Eric then allows him as long as he does not tell anybody what is in the cage. Mojo decides to peek and then jumps back in fear and says, WTH. Eric smiles and walks off. Backstage again. Andrade was asked by a backstage employee if he felt that he crossed the line taking Rey Mysterio's mask. Andrade starts speaking in Spanish, and shortly after, Rey jumps Andrade, and Rey also then takes his mask back. Then we have a match. Eric Rowan versus an unknown enhancement talent. Eric Rowan quickly won this match. I do not understand why they keep on giving Eric Rowan enhancement matches. I mean, it's the same thing every week, but this one was a little bit different. After the match, Eric Rowan said to the enhancement talent, "Do you want to see what's inside? Do you want to see what's inside? Do you want to see what's inside my cage? Yeah." So then Eric Rowan grabs the unknown enhancement talent and puts his face near the cage. I don't know what happened, but between the encounteration of the cage and the unknown enhancement talent ended up having his face bloody red pouring down. Very interesting. Anyways, after that, there was a match. AJ Styles versus Akira Tozawa, which AJ quickly won with an RKO. Now, this here, AJ is tormenting Randy Orton. Pretty much in this match, AJ was doing Orton taunting, Orton gestures. He did the DDT off the apron that Orton does, his signature move. He also did other like gestures that Orton does, and he also did the RKO. So they're building on that story between AJ Styles and Randy Orton, which could be a good match potentially. All right, moving on. Yep, and moving on to this bad segment. Bobby Lashley and Lana come to the ring, and they attempt to get married again, and this time they are successful. This segment got booed, and the crowd did not seem to be too interested in it, with one audience member saying that this segment is the worst one of the year. You can literally hear an audience member saying, "This is the worst segment of the year," or something like that in the background. The crowd does not take to this storyline too much, and Lana's getting booed, but it's go away heat like Baron Corbin. This is not good. They need to get this off the TV. It's really bad, but I don't know. It's getting numbers, it's getting viewership. That wedding that they had last week, they tried to attempt, got a lot of viewership, but it was wretched. It was terrible. And I don't even want to remember it. I just want to move on in the show and go to something else, okay? And so we're going to move on right now. Next, Charlotte versus Sarah Logan. Impromptu match. The match actually ended up being a no contest. The bell didn't even ring to start the match. The two go back and forth, beating each other down, which Charlotte ended up winning the brawl, of course. Charlotte the Queen. Sarah Logan is actually not too bad, actually, for a female wrestler. She's actually pretty decent. I actually thought maybe that she would have won the brawl. But yeah, this matchup did not get started. During Charlotte coming into the ring, she was, doing some gesturing, and she got attacked by Sarah Logan. They brawled back and forth, and Charlotte ended up winning. I'm not too sure what's going to happen there. I don't know if it's going to be a feud or what. I'm not too sure. But it is kind of interesting, to say the least. Next is an announcement made by the commentary in regards to the Royal Rumble. They are showing the superstars that are going to be in the 2020 Royal Rumble. Originally now, it was only Roman Reigns who announced his entry on last SmackDown. Roman Reigns was the only male superstar. Charlotte also announced on last SmackDown that she was also going to enter the Royal Rumble as well. And tonight, Brock Lesnar, who entered his name into the Royal Rumble. So my question now is, why are we seeing 5 other superstars, other wrestlers that are announced in the Royal Rumble, but did not actually give a proper formal introduction that they are going to be in the Royal Rumble? WWE just displayed these superstars and said, hey, these guys are in the Royal Rumble, and they didn't, the superstars didn't get any chance to get any spotlight to say, hey, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble, get to cut a promo or just hype hype the Royal Rumble up and say, hey, my time is now. This is my year. This is a new decade, a new year, and I plan on winning the Royal Rumble. I plan on main eventing the WrestleMania, yada yada yada. Give a superstar their time on TV, their time to shine. Instead they just displayed all the superstars that are going to be in the Royal Rumble. I just don't understand that. I feel that is wrong, and they should give superstars time to shine, regardless if they're going to run the Royal Rumble or not. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre versus No Way Rose. Drew McIntyre wins after a Claymore kick. And then Drew McIntyre also decides to announce he is going to be in the Royal Rumble. This was a quick match. Not much else to say to it. I mean, he pleased the crowd by asking the crowd if they want him to do another Claymore kick, which he gave the crowd. Anyways, moving on. Aleister Black versus Shelton Benjamin, who we have not seen in a long time, by the way. Quite some time. The last time he was making short jokes towards Chad Gable. And yeah, it was around the King of the Ring time. I think that was the last time that Shelton Benjamin has been on TV. I don't know what's going on with Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin is a great talent. For those of you who don't know, Shelton Benjamin trained with Brock Lesnar, and he's a great hand in the business. He can still go, given his age. It's just shame that, he's just relegated to, I wouldn't even say the mid-card. He's lower than that. He hasn't been on TV in the longest time. It just shows how much WWE values Shelton Benjamin. Clearly, he's not a valuable player. And not just Shelton Benjamin. There's so many other superstars on the roster who is being undervalued, who's being relegated to catering, who deserve to be in that ring wrestling. Anyways, I'm not even going to get started. Moving on. Aleister Black wins with a black mass. Shortly after Aleister Black won, Buddy Murphy attacks Black right after the match ended, beating Aleister Black up. Alright, moving on. Seth and the AOP come out, and Seth goes on the mic. And Seth says this, and I have the audio recording for you. I'm going to get it for you right now. Here we go.
I have been chosen to lead Monday Night Raw to the promised land. Chosen, ironically enough, by all of you. You did this. I gave you Monday Night Rollins, and that was not good enough for you. But the truth is, you don't know what's good for you. I know what's good for you. I always have. As a matter of fact, I know what is best for you. And what is best for you, what is best for all of us, is to eliminate people who impede progress. And tonight, that is Kevin Owens, that is Samoa Joe, and that is whomever has decided to take up arms with them. So, gentlemen, come out here. Meet your fate at the hands of the AOP and the Monday Night Messiah.
Oh, man, where do I start? Seth, oh, Seth, oh, Seth. What a funny guy you are. You have been chosen to lead by us. I did not choose you to lead, Seth. I did not choose a vagina boy, a cowardly boy like you. You said that you were Monday Night Rollins, but it wasn't good enough. Monday Night Rollins, yes, the one that did that long Monday Night Raw gauntlet match and got over. Yes, the one that won the title and brought the title to new heights. And you were wrestling such great matches. And then what happened? You became a vagina. You started getting into these bad storylines. And the icing on the cake that killed everything was when you decided to beating Bray Wyatt, but having that match in a cell and in a DQ or whatever with the sledgehammer, all that bogus. You signed off on that. You should have talked to your boss or the writers or Vince McMahon. You should have talked to Vince McMahon and said, Vince, I don't want to end a cell match like that in a DQ. Vince, the crowd is going to hate it. Vince, the crowd is going to boo me, and The Fiend is going to get over because he's already more over than I am. The Fiend is the most over person in the company. Vince, you can't do that. And Seth said, sure, Vince, I'll do that. I'll do whatever you want me to do. You're paying me all the big dollars. Seth, you should have spoken up for yourself and told Vince, WWE, the company, that you do not agree with ending that cell match in that horrible, horrible ending. The Fiend should have won your title back then, and maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't be hated as much as you are now. You were hated because of your own doing and all that stuff that you're doing on social media. You, Seth Rollins, are your own greatest enemy. Now, sorry for the rant. Back to the show. Back to the show. So, Owens and Joe come out to the ramp. They do their entrance. And then they wait and they tease who their third tag team partner is going to be. It ends up being The Big Show. Well, it's The Big Show. Big Show is their mystery tag team partner. Big Show has been off of TV for at least a year. At one moment during the match, there was even a "We Want Big Show" chant. I couldn't believe it. And this is the guy that got chanted during his time wrestling years ago. Please retire. They want a Big Show to retire. And now the crowd's all happy. I think it's just one of those moments when you haven't seen that person in a while and you're just really excited that they're back. But just give it about like 2 weeks to 4 weeks. 4 to 2 weeks. And he's just going to be relegated to nothing. He's just going to be like everybody else. But anyway, so Big Show is a secret tag team partner. All right. So Big Show ended up winning because Seth Rollins decided to use a steel chair on the Big Show, and they got a disqualification. There was a brawl and all, and the show ended. That's pretty much it. This show was honestly a bad show. Apart from a few good matches, all in all, I say this is a terrible show tonight, and a bad start to the new year and to the new decade. Come on, guys, you got to do better than that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.